Hey guys, we just got into spring supposedly right now, and I just bought a set of wheels and tires for the car. I've been meaning to do this now for a while. Our weather here in Western New York, we lose a lot of drive time because the temperatures for a big part of the year are 40 degrees or below, or maybe 45 and below. And I just worry about the summer tires on my car. I don't want to do any damage to them, and I still want to be able to drive the car on a nice day. So my thought was this, that I would buy all-season tires and then use them from any nice day in March, April, right up to about mid-May. Then I would switch to the summer tires. And then once it got to mid-September, I would switch back to the all-season tires where I could drive it for the other half of September and October and maybe a little bit in November. So that was my thought process. I didn't want to be taking the summer tires on and off the original wheels that I have. I wanted another set of wheels just so I could equip those with the all-seasons and then not have to think about it. I figured I could gain probably another 4 months of on and off driving, depending on if it's snowing or if there's salt on the road or if there's ice or heavy rains or whatever. But at least if it was a sunny day and it was dry, I could take the car out and not lose all of that driving time. I get itchy to take the car out, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I'll just bite the bullet and get another set of wheels and tires. So the wheels that I've got are IPWs. Now the wheels, they're pretty nice. I like them. And the center caps that they give with the wheel, it's not the right, emblem for a 23 Corvette, but this is the center cap that they give you, and it exactly matches any center cap that you have on your car that's stock. I mean, the opening is perfect, and you can slap any one of the caps on that you want. Other than that, they look like a nice wheel. Of course, they're made in China. And the other thing that I do like about them, I was never a real fan of the gunmetal gray. Like my wheels, I like my wheels, the factory wheels. They have the machine face, but they have the gunmetal color on the inside. And these IPW wheels, they're gloss black on the inside. I like the gloss black much better with the machine face. I got these wheels from the New Jersey Wheel Outlet. The pattern of the wheels are similar to if you ordered a Z06. They have a wheel that's similar in pattern to this. I wanted the same size wheels. I didn't want to go bigger or anything like that. So I stuck with the 19 8.5 fronts and the 20 by 11 for the rears. Both patterns good. The only difference is, well, there's two differences. The one is the offset. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But the offset was such that the wheels would be pushed further to the outside of the vehicle. Not by much, maybe a half to maybe 6/10 of an inch. So I thought, that's okay, I can live with that. Okay, so the tires that I got aren't run flat, they're just standard all-season tires. I thought, well, I got a good price on these. I think I paid $9.50 total for the tires. The two fronts were 400 and the two rears were 550. So I feel like I've got a decent tire that's going to go on the car. Continentals, I had them on my Chevy SSR and they handled great in the rain. We had some terrific rainstorms that we went through with that car, and I didn't feel any touch of hydroplaning or any issue with those tires. So I feel pretty confident, even though they're not Michelin's, you know, that these Continentals will be good. So the other thing I had to do, which I hadn't done yet with the car, is get a set of these lifting pucks. And I got these off of eBay. It was 4 of them for $44. So that's good enough. I like the red so it could show up from underneath the car. I kind of like that. If you're going underneath the car, you can pinpoint it right away. So I think in the owner's manual it pinpoints exactly where those mounting points are. This piece of metal here would go up into that area that's open under the car, and then give it a turn, quarter turn, then crank it down with an Allen wrench, nice and tight up there. So that'll take care of that. I had been meaning to do that for a while now, so I'd suggest if you don't have them to get a set of lifting pucks. So I'm going to show you the wheels, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the wheel offsets. The offsets are important if you're going to find a set of aftermarket wheels. It's kind of critical for the positioning of that wheel in or out from the body. Okay guys, I'd like to take a minute just to try to explain a little bit on wheel offsets in case some of you might not be too familiar with it. Here's a wheel. I kind of sketched that in. And here's the center line of that wheel. Now to the right of that center wheel, towards the face of the wheel, let's say that this is the face, to the right, that would be positive offset. So, to the right, classified as positive offset. And to the left of that center line, it would be negative offset. Now, the wheels that are on my car, the factory wheels, have an offset of 64 millimeters. That would be positive offset. So that wheel, I'm going to try to sketch a little. Let's say that this is the hub of the wheel right here. Now, the back face of that hub is where we're measuring the offset to the center line. So this distance here is the 64 millimeters. Here to here. Now, my new wheel has only a 48 millimeter offset, which if I try to draw that, sketch that in here, would be sort of like this. Not too good at this. So anyhow, the back line, back of that hub, that offset distance from the center line is 48 millimeter. So, the difference between the two is 16 millimeter. That comes out to about 0.62 inches. So, what we have is this wheel with my new wheels. This is my new wheels. That it's just over a half an inch would be pushed out towards the fender or the front of the car. Let's say this is the fender. The original wheel, my stock wheels, are right here, and they're kind of flat with the face. Now, the further back that hub is, the more depth there's going to be in the wheel. In other words, more, I would say, recess, so you can see more dimension of the wheel. However, it's also going to push the wheel further out. So that's where you got to be careful. Well, maybe you don't care, but I want the wheel to still be contained, or at the very worst, just even with the front face of the fender. So the ½ inch, just over a ½ inch, is still okay with my new wheels. So that's important when you're going to find aftermarket wheels, what that offset is. And sometimes it's a little confusing because you say, oh, well, 48 millimeter on the one, that should be even better, but it sort of works in reverse of what you're thinking about. So the more offset from the center line, the further in from the fender that wheel will be. And the less offset that you have, the more that's going to push the wheel out. Because if, let's say you have, just for instance, you have a rotor with your with your wheel studs on there. Those wheel studs would be right here on the factory. Okay? And that's where the wheel face is, let's say, right by the fender. Now, you can't, those studs are stationary, but with the hub being further back on the new wheels, you're now going to be pushing that wheel out when you put that over the studs. I don't know if I am explaining this good enough. So you just have to watch how much offset you're dealing with, because that really does shift the distance of the wheel either in or out from your car body. I don't know if you can tell or not. These are the rear wheels that I have on the Corvette. And you can see these wheels are a little flatter than the IPW wheels. And these have that gunmetal finish on the inside. So here's the rear wheel. You've actually got some depth and some dimension to this. So you can see the gloss black on the inside. And the other thing we're going to talk about is the TPMS, the tire pressure monitor sensors. So the other issue with getting new wheels and tires is that I figure you might as well put a new set of TPMSs in, the tire pressure monitor sensors. So I got a set of 4. These are made by Schrader. Supposed to work fine, I guess, on the 23 Corvette. But as you can see, their stem is silver. And of course, I'd be going on a gloss black surface on the wheel. So they do sell, well, I shouldn't say sell. I didn't know that it was a separate kit, but they have a kit to make the sensor stem black. And it's not a hard procedure. I mean, on the website, they show the sensor with a black stem. Of course, you don't know that you got to put it together, that they send you the silver ones, but then you got to put the black ones in. It's not hard. I mean, so to change out the silver stem, just have to unscrew the nut, pull the rubber grommet off. Take the bottom nut off. It's not really a nut, it's kind of a swivel. And then you can release the silver stem. And then, you know, you can save it, put everything back, you know, temporarily. I guess if something goes wrong or whatever, you can just save it. So then you can just reverse the procedure, put the black stem through, put the swivel nut in, and then work in the rubber gasket. Make sure it sits in into that swivel nut all the way. So there we have it, guys. New set of wheels, new set of tires, new set of tire pressure monitor sensors, new set of jacking pucks, and then we should be all set to go again. I'll be back with you tomorrow quick to show you the wheels mounted. Hopefully nothing happens to them, and we'll take it from there. Okay, thanks guys. See you tomorrow.